Hi you guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be turning my red KitchenAid stand mixer into a nice neutral color. Do you want to know how I'm going to be doing that and what the final result is going to look like? Stay tuned. Okay, you guys. So again, in this video, I'm going to attempt, I'm gonna put my big girl pants on and I'm going to attempt to paint this. Now, a little bit of a backstory. I had wanted one of these for years and years and years. I've always wanted one. Then I moved to Florida and I think I was maybe here 3 years and my man got me one for Christmas. And at the time, I had red in my kitchen. Everything in my kitchen was red and black, and gray. Now everything is pretty much like sage, gray. I don't really have any, this is like the last red in my entire kitchen. And I was looking at new ones and I saw the prices and I'm like, why would you buy one just because of the color? So I'm like, fine, you're just gonna have a red one. Then I started doing a little bit more research, and since I was looking up them, something came up to paint it and I was like, oh, I could do that. I could definitely do that. So in this video, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you on the journey of turning this from red, the way that it is, to this. And I'm so excited to actually do it, and I'm hoping it's going to come out good. So basically I went to Home Depot and I purchased a color that I thought would match. What I did is I bought a new cover. The cover that I had for this one is red. I had a red little thing that it sat on to slide it back and forth. So I bought a new color here. It's called Milkshake. When I went to KitchenAid to buy a new cover for it, because I thought, well, I'll just cover it with a different color. They didn't have like the pistachio color that I was actually looking for. The color that I purchased from Home Depot ended up being more gray. I Googled what this milkshake color should look like and it said more on the gray tone. So that's what I went with, and then when I put it to this, it didn't match. So I went to Lowe's and I found this Magnolia Home by Joanna Gaines. It's chalk spray paint in the color yarn, and this should be matte. Yes, vintage matte finish. That's another thing. I did see a green because I really wanted it to be like a sage green or close to the pistachio green. I did find one that was kind of close, but it was like a gloss or a high gloss or something like that. And I don't want the shiny finish. I'm looking for a matte finish. So I'm like, well, instead of me trying to choose a green, because I have so many different sage greens in my kitchen, I'm like, well, just go with the neutral, because if I end up changing and I don't use sage green at some point, at least this being like a beige will blend in and work with anything. So this is the color that I'm going to paint it. However, I'm going to prep it all first. I'm going to sand it down. I'm going to use a primer to prime it, and then I'm going to use the paint on a different day. And then the third day, I will use a matte clear enamel just to seal it all in. I also did purchase a 3-pack, which I only need one, to put on the back so I can just wrap the cord around instead of how I'm doing now is wrapping the cord around here, so I can wrap it around here. And then I even bought a black, like a metal sliding mat, so I can slide it in and out better than using the other red thing that I was using. That's the only products that I need, is just the paint and sandpaper. So let's go ahead and start prepping this, sanding it, painting it, and then we're gonna see the outcome.
So before we start disassembling everything, let's get a good look at the before. Nice and shiny red. This is how everything looked with the cover and the thing that I would use to slide it before. So now let's go ahead and disassemble it. I'll remove the bowl. You remove this. Using a screwdriver, I'm going to remove this plate. And also there's 2 screws back here that takes the ring off that goes around, and then also for the back cover. And then I'm just going to tape around it to kind of protect that and the cord while I paint. and then also adding a bag just to protect the motor. So for this sticker, I saw a hack where you can use a lighter. That did not work for me. We tried to use a heat gun. That really did not work either. My man did kind of scrape a little too much in this one corner. You'll see in a second what it does. But I also did see another hack of using a lemon essential oil, and that's what I'm using here. And it literally took the sticker completely off, residue and everything. So I should have started with that. But yep, this is what happened with the razor blade in the corner, but it's okay. I'm going to sand it, and it's the back, so it wouldn't be my project if there wasn't something wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and just start taping everything that I'm not going to remove. This little ring that goes around, I was going to tape it off, but then I decided just to use a mallet with the screwdriver, and it came right down, so then I didn't have to tape it. But all these other little screws and everything, I'm just going to tape just so we can cover it, and then I'm going to start sanding. At first, I used a 120 grit. Apparently, my man said he gave that to me in case I needed it, but I wasn't supposed to use it. I was supposed to start with the 220, so you can start with whatever you want. I started with a 120, and I went ahead and sanded the entire machine top to bottom. And don't forget about the lid. Now, this little shiny spot right here, I did go a little too deep, but that's also my problem with starting with too thick of a sandpaper. But I went a little too deep on a few of the areas, but I did get most of the scratches out. Again, it's the back. You're not going to really see it. Plus the cord's going to be back there. I just really wanted to get most of those scratches out though, just to have it look a little better in my head. But I went through and got all of the shine off. All of this glossy red paint is now going to be gone, going inside of every little nook and cranny, underneath the neck, down inside, and all around. So once I completed the entire machine with the 120, I went through and repeated the process with the 220 and the 400 grit sandpaper. And then I wiped it down really good. And then I used a cleanser just so I can make sure I get all of that sandpaper dust off so it's all good and ready for painting. I wheeled it out into the sun to dry, and then I started the first coat of the primer. This is the white primer, and I do a few different coats, letting it dry in between. And here is after the first coat. Oh my gosh, you guys, doesn't it even look so much better just being white? So now here is the second coat, again being mindful to underneath the neck as well. So I will do a coat leaving it up, and then once it's dry, I'll put it down and do another coat so I can get the back. And it wouldn't be my project if I didn't mess something up. I always aim for completion, not perfection. However, inside this hole, I saw that there was still some red, so I went in close and of course, yep, you see that? I got a spray right there, and trying to fix that, I got another one over here. So I'm gonna try to even it out a little bit more with the paint, but I'm not going to sand it and do all that. I'm just like, whatever. I'm gonna leave that. I did, however, mess up the corner over here because I should have painted the bottom first and then the top, but I didn't. So when I went to flip it over, I had my fingerprints all right here, and then there was indentions on the top, and of course I have some drips trying to fix those indentions. So this almost looks a lot better. Plus it's just the back cover. You're not gonna see it anyways. It just sits back here. However, I'm a little disappointed that I had to, like that was the last thing I did. I had to do it. So I got a vroom and a vroom. So let's see what happens. I'm having it sit out here in the sun, hoping that it might kind of even it out just a little bit. Again, it wouldn't be my project if there wouldn't be something. So there we go. This is for today, end of today, for the primer. And then in between, I put a box over it just so dust and debris doesn't land on it. And then I put a little cover over the lid as well. So if it rains, there's a bag on top. Now we're on day 2, and we're gonna start the first coat of the color. Okay, so since I don't know how to leave well enough alone, I had a spot and I kept trying to fix it and then I blew on it a little bit and it looked worse. So then I tried to wipe it off, and now this is what I have. So I'm just so discouraged. I'm just really discouraged. I don't know if I just sand the whole thing down, because for some reason the paint put like some texture on it anyways. It didn't really do it a lot up here, but down here it put like a texture on this side. So I don't know if I just sand the whole side. I'm just a little disappointed in myself right about there. And I don't even have any more paint. This is gonna be fun, but that's what I'm working with right now. Okay, so my phone kept turning off because it's too hot for it. So I just wanted to show you, I basically use this really, really light, what is this, the 400 grit sandpaper. And I basically just went over the entire machine. Now it's all nice and smooth. I can still feel a few spots where I want to go over. I still need to kind of clean up a little bit inside of that side. I could not get the head up for a while because it was like stuck with the excess paint in there. So I'm cleaning all that up just to leave that silver. I don't want to put paint in there. And then this area here, I sanded it down as much as I could. I feel a slight little tiny bit here, but that's pretty much all nice and smooth. I just need to go through and just kind of touch up like in here, right in here. And then these harder spots that was really, really messed up, I'm using there's a medium and a 120. I'm trying just to get this out. And I will, but anyway, I just wanted to show you up close what it looks like, because again, my phone's gonna probably turn off again. So I'll show you once I have it all resanded, but at least you can see the spots now. All right, so now I am completely done re-sanding yet again. This right here is blending in seamlessly. It's like so smooth. I might feel like one little tiny bit, but every time I went with the lowest number, like the thinnest, it would bring up other like bumps and stuff. So that's how this ended up being more than it was. So I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to keep touching it. But this is all nice and smooth and seamless. And then down inside, is it still unlocked? Yes. Down inside, I cleaned up all of that paint and just left it silver. There is a little bit of red. I'll get in there with like, I don't know, some kind of like a little tiny file or something to get that out if it bothers me. But yeah, now everything is ready for paint the second time around. So I'll go to the store and try to find a different color, because the one that I was using was clearance, so I'm not going to find that anymore. So now I'll go and hopefully find something that's similar. Wish me luck. Alrighty, so I made a new box, so during this process, if it does rain, this is not going to come off, it's not going to get wet, and it's flat around the edge. So this is the new color that I purchased. I just went off of a color online. It's the Ultra Matte Sand Dollar. It has prime and paint, so I don't have to do the primer first. I'm just gonna straight paint this and hope for the best. So it looks kind of like a lighter color. It's definitely lighter than the cover, but if you look, hold on. So if you look at it compared to the color I already painted it, it pretty much looks the same. It's just a little bit tanner, where this looks a little bit gray. So hopefully it'll look good. So now painting this new color, first coat. Yep, that did happen. So if at first you don't succeed, you must try, and just keep trying again. Just keep going. Just keep going. And I don't think I messed it up this time. The only thing is, yes, you do still see all of the like texture. So once it's all completely dry, I'll determine if I want to do the little wet sand job, which I probably will, because some stuff looks kind of like chunks that got on it, or I don't know. But yeah, at least this time I didn't mess anything up so far. So I thought at this point I should just go ahead and do the wet sand, because you guys, I literally have spent hours and hours and hours sanding this, painting this, sanding this, painting this. So like, I would be foolish just to stop here and just give up, basically. So since again, I have put so much work into this, I really want this to look good. So I'm using the lighter grit, the 400, and using a little bit of water, and I'm just like lightly sanding and going over very, very lightly, just to get those extra little, like that extra stuff that it put on there that looked like a texture. I just want to get that off. So that is all I'm doing here. Very, very light wet sanding. So this is what it looks like up close after I'm done sanding. All of that texture is almost completely gone. Like, I'm super impressed with how it looks now. You can still see a little bit of it, but I mean, I've been sanding for hours and I'm kind of done. Right here, I didn't go too much because the band will cover it, but this is what it looks like up close. Okay, so I was super impressed with myself. It was really smooth and I cleaned it off, and once I cleaned it off, I noticed, yeah, I sanded a little too much. And a little spot over here, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a little spot over there. So I guess I need to repaint this area and then resand it. So yet again, let's go back to the drawing board. It was too hot to record, but I did another coat and this is how it looks now. There's just a few little things that I need to wet sand. That's actually when the bottle fell. The spray bottle that was next to it, like on my last coat, that fell down and hit that. So, and then there's just like a few pieces over here of like overspray and little bumps. So I just got to get that off. And then the top, I just want to get it to have like a even finish. So very, very light sand, and I'm gonna start using the clear coat finish. This is now all good. I don't even think I'm gonna touch this. I think I'm just gonna leave this well enough alone. I don't think it needs, maybe in that little tiny crack right there, there's still some texture. So maybe in there I'll do a little bit of wet sanding, and then clean her up, and yeah. Let's get this done. I just want to put it back together. So for my last and final wet sanding, again using the 400 grit and water. And then one last time, going in, cleaning it really good to get all of that dust off, make it nice and clean for the last step. And here it is, the last and final step, the clear matte enamel. And I did want to wait, well, I told myself to wait 24 to 48 hours before I did this, but you guys, this has been a drawn out long project, way longer than anticipated. So I really, really, really want to see the final outcome. I'm just too impatient for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking all of the tape and everything off and getting this bad boy put back together. I do not want any fingerprints, so I'm going to wear my gloves because I know for a fact it's not 100% dry. And right here, me trying to put this band on, I realized that there was too much paint that made it enough, just enough to where it won't fit 100%. So I'm literally trying to force the issue, which is not good. And here is Exhibit A. I chipped the paint, trying to put the ring around that, trying to force that issue. And then over here, this thing, I literally broke the screw off. My man had to use his drill to get it out. So I tried to use some paint here. That does not look good. So just to compromise, I went ahead and put, and I know it's not 100% straight. I can do another one, but I just wanted to finish this. But I put a piece of vinyl around there to cover it. And then here is that 3M adhesive sticker for the cord wrap that I was talking about. I did clean the cord and everything all off, and it works perfectly nice and snug right here. And here is the final outcome. I've had it sitting on my counter for 4 to 5 days now, just to make sure it's completely dry before I put the cover on, because I didn't want like any smudges or marks or anything. I must say I'm actually really, really happy with the outcome, especially with all of the different issues that I ran into the whole entire time. Again, I had to change the paint color. I had to repaint and resand, I don't know how many different times. And then at the very, very end, when I thought finally I'm in the clear, I had to force this and take a big old chunk off. So at least I am satisfied with how it looks. Again, I only look for completion, not perfection, and that is exactly what I achieved. So I'm super happy with it. I'm so glad that I did do that wet sand, because now everything is just seamless. It's so smooth. I have no chunks. I don't have that texture, which made it kind of look dirty. It now looks so much better. There might still be like a few little spots if you really get too close and personal, but if anybody's that close to my mixer, I mean, that's an issue. I even love how it looks with the cover. Even though it's not the exact same color, it definitely does look really nice. I love that they're both neutral colors. And then here is how it looks with the cover and the new sliding plate that literally fits right underneath the machine. So it's perfect.
So comment down below and let me know what you thought about this total process. Your positive interaction means the world and I greatly do appreciate it, as I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. So until next time, you know that drill. Keep a smile on that gorgeous face of yours and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Crafty crew, out.